Dr. Kiran Reddy, thank you very much for inviting me. And this has been the longest wait that I had in coming on to the podium. But I'm glad that I still am fresh in my mind as to what I want to share with all of you. Primarily, a lot of speakers from diversified fields. It's like an honor to share the dais with them. Spoke about a whole lot of macro stuff, absolutely macro level. In fact, so therefore I was just wondering how do I amend my whole speech for about 5 minutes. Let me start very dramatically. The tourism sector, leisure travel is going to be the largest activity, human activity in the world in the next 10 years or so. It's already so in the case of Germany. Almost about 90% of the citizens of Germany go out on a holiday. So it's almost the whole entire population of that country actually travels outside the country for holiday or for business tourism. So that's of course at the top end. So therefore, just imagine China and India, almost all of them just going out. There will not be any space on earth. But that's the way it's going to be. That's the aspiration of almost every citizen of the world. They want to see not just India, but they want to see the planet. So that being the case, this is obviously going to be the largest activity. But in terms of the services management, I'm particularly happy that at least one university in India has recognized the relevance of services management. Having spent 41 years with the Tata Group, I also had the chance to meet Mr. Ratan Tata, whom I looked after for many years, even recently when he came to Bangalore. Having worked for the Tata Group and also for the Taj Group, I realized that in India, the services, it is not about hospitality industry today. In the last 10 years or more, maybe 20 years, ever since technology has actually almost dominating the manufacturing sector, I can give you a specific example. In Hubli, there is this ceramics factory. Mr. R.N. Shetty's ceramics factory. This was way back in 1990. And I happened to, we managed some of Mr. Shetty's hotels, like the Taj Residency, MG Road. So I was invited for the inauguration of making, so from clay, lifting the clay right up to the end product, the tile, was being done completely computerized, right? This is in Hubli in 1990. And so I looked around and asked Mr. Shetty, where are the factory workers? He just took me aside and says, in his own way, he said, actually, I don't need. But I happen to employ about 100 people because otherwise this town whom I belong to, will wonder what's happening with me. I mean, how can I put up a factory and not employ people? So he actually employed 100 people for gardening and landscaping of that place. So this happened in 1990. So what I'm trying to say is, therefore, what is the biggest challenge for the world, be it in business or be it as an individual? It's about that almost 90 to 100% of the manufacturing function is going to be taken over by technology, robotics. So therefore, where does a human being go? They go in for services management. So in a nutshell, I know I'm actually conscious of my time, but every single manufactured product on the planet, with technology actually becoming absolutely available, is more or less equal. The technology is accessible, so therefore all the products almost become similar. There is no competitive edge. Think of it, honestly. Even the spacecraft. Now, we talked about the one mom, that went to Mars, on an expedition to Mars. And India, we're still a developing country, or perhaps in many ways a poor country, has had the capability to develop it at almost 1/3 of the cost of one of the richest nations in the world. So therefore, technology is obviously becoming flat, totally flat. So in that, services management, services sector is going to be the competitive edge. Be it in car, be it in television, for anything for that matter. In fact, now it's coming to food also. So how do you actually, the services management as a faculty, as a subject, prepare the future leaders to understand where do you deliver in terms of the services delivery, where do we actually gain that competitive advantage? And that competitive advantage is all about services management. And fundamental, from my own understanding of millions of customers whom I've had the chance to be engaged with, is ultimately it's all about customization. It's all about how good are you in terms of personalization of the customer. Because the more you deliver, the higher is the expectation. The higher is the benchmark. Therefore, when the higher is the benchmark, everything else actually becomes irrelevant in terms of comparison, right? Whether it's the Uber. Today, would any one of you wait for a taxi? No. How did it happen in about 6 months' time, a year? Because the whole benchmark of experiences has been elevated. Today, you're not prepared to go anything less than an Uber, right, when it comes to a car. So that's how it's going to be evolved. But in India, we have to be extremely careful. I just want to exercise a cautionary note. I want to be totally different from the thought process in terms of how revenue management and a whole lot of disruptive thinking can actually bring in the solutions for India. Certainly not. We are nowhere near that. For the next 50 years or 60 years, human service, customization, whole lot of human element is extremely important. And revenue management, just to tell you that, it is now becoming per square foot. They're not even, human beings are irrelevant today. They're even talking about per square foot yield. It's all about yield. It's all about optimization. It's all about how to convert, fixed costs to variable costs. The one thing that I could not do in Ginger, in fact, is a world class in terms of room to human ratio. That's not good news for the hotel management students. It's 1:0.5. I was trained in Switzerland in 1988. At that point of time, in Silo Hotels in Zermatt, the ratio was 1:0.5. So that means for a 100-room hotel, you need just about 50 people. And out of that, 90% of the Swiss hotel staff were immigrants. So they were not employed. They were actually on FTC. So there is going to be a huge challenge in terms of employment. I don't think India as a country is ready for that. But we are going ahead with FTCs. We are going ahead with red slips, pink slips, whole lot of things. So there is also a lot of accompanying challenges when it comes to services management. Therefore, I think a middle path in terms of customization. Are we all happy with the kind of service that we experience? All this disruptive technology. Ask me, no. We are not. Because we are used to our mother cooking food. When we sit at the table, in South India especially, then only the dosha is made, and then that she serves it. Can we get that in a home delivery? No. So it's all about necessity. It's not about luxury. So this necessity stuff comes in with a price. So when we can afford an Indigo, we will fly an Indigo. But we can afford a Jet Airways, I will certainly fly a Jet Airways. Because I get a lot better service. I know that I'm actually, in terms of my image, I'm premium class. I get good food in the aircraft. So we are all used to it. So I don't think in terms of service, luxury service, customization, personalization, all that is out of order. It's all a matter of actually how do you combine, as she said very rightly, high touch and high revenue, right? High revenue, high yield. So I think that's what India has to contribute to the whole world. In the Western Hemisphere, they have a huge problem, which we don't have. They have scarcity of people. We don't have that. So therefore, let's not mock that model at all. Absolutely not. We have to see how the Eastern philosophy of customization, personalization, which is actually the cutting edge for every single service or product or manufactured product. Every single customer needs that another person to actually engage in terms of, explaining and experiencing the whole act of sale. And we do have the capacity to do that. We are, in fact, the Indian market, the middle class, are probably the best in the world to actually equip themselves to be trained with a lot of sensitivity, a lot of personalization, while actually pursuing this revenue management.
AIMS, Empowering Minds.